Have you ever left a conversation feeling drained, confused, or like something inside you had shifted, and yet the person you were speaking to seemed completely normal? Maybe they smiled, joked, or even said the right words at the right time, and still somehow you left questioning yourself. Maybe you even wondered, am I overreacting? Was it really that bad? These moments are more common than we like to admit, and they are rarely random. They are the quiet, invisible currents of emotional manipulation, working in subtle ways that most people never notice until it's too late. Emotional manipulation doesn't arrive with a warning siren. It whispers. It's a shadow in your everyday interactions. A friend who guilt trips you with, "I just wanted what's best for you." A partner who subtly questions your memory until you doubt yourself. A co-worker who undermines you with compliments that sting more than they soothe. At first it feels small, almost harmless, but over time it reshapes the way you think, feel, and act. Think about it for a moment. How often have you done something you didn't really want to do, just to avoid upsetting someone? That hesitation, that tiny flicker of doubt, could be the work of manipulation. Quiet, almost imperceptible but powerful. Psychologists explain that emotional manipulators often exploit the natural wiring of the human mind. We are wired to trust, to empathize, to maintain harmony. Manipulators take advantage of that. One of the most studied tactics is gaslighting, when someone twists your perception of reality, causing you to question your memory, your judgment, even your sanity. It could be denying a promise was made, reframing a situation to make you feel guilty, or subtly invalidating your feelings. Over time, these small distortions accumulate, creating self-doubt that leaves the manipulator in control and you feeling unmoored. Another tactic is emotional guilt tripping. This exploits empathy. You've probably seen it in relationships, workplaces, or even family gatherings. Someone frames their discomfort or disappointment as your responsibility, making you feel compelled to act against your own needs. You bend, compromise, and sacrifice, often silently, because saying no feels impossible, or worse, selfish. Let me share a story. A friend of mine worked with a colleague who seemed endlessly supportive at first. He offered guidance, reassured her, even laughed at her jokes. But gradually she noticed a shift. Small comments like, "Are you sure you can handle that?" or "I thought you'd know better," began to erode her confidence. She doubted her instincts, questioned her skills, and felt an unease she couldn't name. By the time she realized what was happening, months had passed, but awareness gave her the power to reclaim her mind. She set boundaries, trusted her instincts, and refused to carry someone else's guilt or doubts. And that, ultimately, was freedom. These tactics may seem harsh or manipulative, but they often appear perfectly normal, even loving. A partner might say, "I only do this because I care about you." A manager might claim, "I'm just pushing you to grow." Manipulation is not about what is said. It's about the impact on your mind and emotions. It works because it feels justified, because it blends seamlessly with the small truths we already accept about ourselves. And here's something few people realize. Emotional manipulation isn't always malicious. Often, people manipulate because they are insecure, fearful, or unaware of their own patterns. Understanding this doesn't excuse the behavior, but it can give you insight into human psychology and how to protect yourself. The first step is awareness, recognizing the signs. Guilt, confusion, self-doubt, and persistent invalidation creates the space to pause before reacting. The next step is cultivating emotional boundaries. These boundaries are not walls, they are guides, internal signals that help you decide what you will accept and what you won't. Boundaries allow you to maintain clarity, self-respect, and emotional autonomy, even when others try to influence your feelings or actions. Equally important is self-validation. Manipulators thrive when you doubt yourself. Regularly check in with your emotions. Ask yourself, is this feeling mine, or am I reacting to someone else's influence? Does this align with my values? By doing this consistently, you strengthen your internal compass. Over time, you'll notice subtle manipulations less, and respond with calm confidence rather than confusion or fear. I think of a man in a relationship that looked perfect to everyone else. His partner was charming, attentive, and affectionate, But slowly, he felt like he was walking on eggshells, compliments twisted into criticism. Affection was conditional. At first he blamed himself, but eventually he realized the subtle manipulation at play. He didn't retaliate or attack. He simply reclaimed his emotional center, affirmed his values, and chose distance. That quiet reclamation transformed his life. Emotional freedom, he discovered, isn't about controlling others, it's about controlling your response to them. Ask yourself, have you ever stayed silent to avoid conflict, doubted yourself after a conversation, or felt drained around certain people? You are not alone. These feelings are signals, indicators that someone may be subtly manipulating your mind or emotions. Awareness is power, and reclaiming your space is courage. Emotional manipulation is subtle, but it can be resisted. With self-awareness, healthy boundaries, and emotional clarity, you can navigate relationships without losing yourself. You learn to listen to yourself, discern intention from impact, and protect your energy. You realize that empathy doesn't mean surrendering your sense of self. It means engaging with others consciously, knowingly, and safely. Ultimately, the quiet power of emotional manipulation teaches a profound lesson. The mind is your sanctuary. No one can invade it unless you allow it. You're not weak for having felt confused, guilty, or doubted. You are human, but you are strong when you recognize these patterns, honor your own instincts, and reclaim your mental and emotional space. That strength, quiet, steady, unshakable, is freedom. So, the next time you notice that twinge of self-doubt, the lingering guilt, or the confusion after a conversation, pause. Reflect. Ask, is this my feeling or is it someone else's influence? And then gently reclaim your clarity, your boundaries, and your peace of mind. Emotional manipulation may be subtle, but your awareness, your courage, and your presence are louder. They are your power, always within reach. You are not alone, you are not lost. You are learning, growing, and becoming stronger in ways that manipulation cannot touch. And in that quiet reclaiming of yourself, you discover the depth of your own mind, the resilience of your heart, and the unshakable truth that your emotional freedom is yours to protect, today and always.